Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I welcome you all in EPSEX Online Sport and Assignments tutorial for week 8. I am Zubia Razak from APS Chaktamni. The grade is 7 and subject is science. Recipe is chapter number 3, the periodic table. And in this lesson, I am going to discuss about arrangement of electrons from textbook page 37 and about atoms, molecules and chemical formula from textbook page 38 and 41. So now the question is how electrons are arranged. Electrons are arranged in these shells. In these shells, in first shell the number of electrons are 2 and in second shell the number of electrons are 8. In third shell, the number of electrons would be 18 and in fourth shell, the number of electrons would be 32. I am repeating this again that first shell has 2 electrons, second shell has 8 electrons, third shell has 18 electrons and fourth shell has 32 electrons. How electrons are arranged in these shells? Electrons are not evenly spread. They exist in layers known as shells. And the arrangement of electrons in these shells is often called as electronic configuration. Which shells do electrons go into? Opposites attract. Protons are positive and electrons are negative charged. Electrons will occupy the shells nearest the nucleus unless these shells are already full. So it means that this first shell fills first and second shell fills the next and third shell and so on. How many electrons per shell? Each shell has a maximum number of electrons that it can hold. First shell 2 electrons, second shell 8 electrons and third shell contains 18 electrons. And now I am going to discuss about atoms, molecules and chemical formula. I have discussed earlier that atom is the smallest unit of an element. A molecule is the smallest particle of an element or compound which exists independently and shows all the properties of that substance. A molecule is a group of 2 or more elements that are held together by attractive forces. Atoms of the same element or different elements can join together to form molecules. So here are different kinds of molecules including hydrogen, oxygen, and 2 hydrogen will join together to form H2 and 2 oxygen will join together to form O2. So these are molecules and there are stronger forces of attraction between these molecules. Chemical formulas. A chemical formula is a shorthand way to use chemical symbols and numbers to represent a substance. C6H12O6 is the chemical formula of glucose. A subscript is a number written below and to the right. So 6 is the subscript and 12 is the subscript. And here 6 is also the subscript. It tells us how many atoms are in these molecules. So there are 6 carbon atoms. There are 12 hydrogen atoms and there are 6 oxygen atoms. If there is no subscript, then there is just one atom. And now I will discuss the questions from textbook page 38, 1, 2, and 3. Gold has atomic number 79 and mass number 197. What would you find inside an atom of gold? So gold has atomic number 79 and gold mass number is 197. So atomic number means there are 79 number of protons or 79 number of neutrons. So there would be number of neutrons would be mass number minus atomic number. Mass number is 197 and atomic number is 79. So there would be 118 number of neutrons in gold. Oxygen has atomic number 8 and mass number 16. Draw a label diagram to show the structure of an oxygen atom. There are 8 protons and 8 neutrons in the nucleus of this oxygen. These are the shells, and in first shell there are 2 electrons and in next shell there are 6 electrons. And here is the nucleus, here are the electrons. All carbon atoms have atomic number 6, but some have mass number 12 and others have mass number 14. What is the same and what is the different about the structure of these two types of carbon atoms? So both have same number of protons and each one has different number of neutrons, 6 or 8. And now I am going to discuss about elements, a pure substance that cannot be broken down into any other substances by chemical or physical means. All items on the periodic table are elements. All elements are represented by a symbol. Examples: carbon C, hydrogen H, calcium Ca. Compounds. A compound is 2 or more elements joined together by a chemical bond. Water is an example of a compound. Each molecule is made up of 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. So here is 1 oxygen, 2 hydrogen, and this is compound. You have to solve question number 3 and 4 from textbook page number 49 on your textbooks, which of the following statements are true of elements and which are true for compounds. They contain only one kind of atom, so they are elements. They cannot be broken down into simpler substances, so they are elements. They can be broken down into simpler substances, so they are compounds. They consist of different atoms in fixed proportions, they are elements. They are made up of atoms with the same number of protons, so they are compounds. They are represented by formula, so they are elements, and they are represented by symbols, so they are elements. Shown below is the symbol of carbon as it appears on the periodic table: C, 12 and 6. What is the mass number of carbon? 12. What is the mass number for carbon? 6. How many protons are there in the carbon atom? 6. How many neutrons are there in this carbon atom? 6. How many electrons are there in this carbon atom? That are 6. Home tasks for the day 2 are reading and memorizing the concepts from textbook pages. Page 38. Do test yourself. Page 38, question number 1, 2 and 3. Do exercise question number 3 and 4. Thank you and have a nice day.